Hello everyone and welcome to the Pole Project. This is Ayelet as usual, you already know. How are you guys this week? I hope everyone's okay. COVID-19 cases are on the rise where I live, so hopefully everyone is healthy. Hopefully I am healthy. I guess we'll find out 14 days from the day that this is being recorded. Good luck to me, I guess. So today I'll be sharing with you guys a subject that is very close to my heart, that is on self-esteem and how to feel sexy when you have a very low self-esteem. So I'll be talking mainly from the point of view of an exotic class or like a strip class, depends whatever you call it, a sexy dance with heels. That is going to be the main scenario, but I guess you could apply that to any pole class you take part in. So I will say this before I start. If you haven't noticed yet, I am a young white female. If you are following along on Instagram, which is, by the way, the Pole Project podcast, you also have seen quite a few photos of me by now, and you know that I'm also pretty thin. So I know it's easier said than done. I have had my own personal problems with self-esteem and body image in the past. Trust me when I say I have been through these things. I do know what it's like to hate yourself. So please don't hate on me. I know, again, that hearing those things coming from a young, fit, white person is very, very annoying for anyone who doesn't fall to any of these categories. I mean no harm, and I just want to give you some practical tips. All of these things are things that I have felt personally myself, and hopefully I can stop you from feeling them as well. When you walk into one of your first pole classes, you stand there in awe. You are probably the worst student in class, and you have this case of imposter syndrome. You're like, not an athlete, all these ninjas like flying around me. How is this even possible? I'll never be able to do these things. So imposter syndrome, if you don't know what that is, that basically just means that you feel like you've got somewhere by accident, that this can't be true, that you're here, you're not good enough to be in this place. You feel like you're the worst student in the classroom. And that's okay. It is possible that you are currently the worst in the classroom, but that shouldn't matter to you. I've had a lot of pole classes where I felt like a failure and I couldn't do anything, and I was frustrated and desperate. What I would like to say to my old self is, look in the mirror and think about that person. You are not doing it to be better than the person next to you, the person behind you, the person to your left, the person to your right. You are only doing this to help that person in the mirror. You only want to be better that person in the mirror. Because all these other people, they don't matter. They can be better than you. That's fine. Their journey is not your journey. Their backgrounds are not the same as your background. That is fine. You can be of the lowest level in the room, and that is okay. You only have to be better than yourself. And as long as you're making effort in order to try to be better than yourself, then that is what you should care about. This is kind of more specific to when you are doing a dance class, like an actual dance. Staring at your teacher the entire lesson is normal. It's okay to be like, how the fuck is she doing that? What is even like, what? How does one even? That is fine. It might even help you to move better, to learn how to operate your body in the way that the teacher wants you to in the choreography. On the other hand, staring at others might not help you as much. That also is very relevant to regular pole classes. I mean, like tricks and stuff. Staring at other people succeeding or failing won't get you anywhere, and it won't get the job done. You need to get your ass on the pole and do it yourself. seeing other people fail might help you a little bit. You might be able to learn from their mistakes, but it's mostly just a waste of time. I know, I've been there. In the beginning, one of the hardest things for me was to keep my eyes off of all those ninjas flying over my head like 3 meters high. It was mesmerizing. I couldn't keep my eyes off of them, and that is normal, but try to avoid that. One final thing that I would like to share with you all, and this is something that I would really love to say to my future students. My dream eventually is being an exotic teacher. I am very far from that. I am not good at exotic dance at all, and I accept that. I know that as long as I'm working on it, it's normal to not be so good at something, and as long as I'm working on changing that, I am fine with it. So the tip that I would like to tell all of my future students, if I do end up having any, or just you guys in general, is once you walk in the classroom, keep all of your opinions about yourself out the door. You cannot walk in the pool room with all of those feelings of self-doubt and hatred and feeling like you're never going to succeed and you're never going to be able to do anything the teacher does. No, this is hard. I know it is so easily frustrating, and it is so easy to just snap and be like, no, this is a bad day, it's a bad practice, I'm not gonna succeed anything today. I know, but the amount of times that you and your body are going to surprise yourselves in the classroom is amazing. I can't even count how many times I've told myself there is no way I'll be able to do that trick ever. And eventually I did, and I will share this with you. I am not that good at pole dancing. I know this is revolutionary. I have a pole dancing podcast, and I am not that good at it. I mean, I've been training for 3 years, but I'm just getting back to myself after a long break. If you've listened to last week's episode, then you know that. And I kind of feel like I'm a beginner, and those are the tricks that I'm working on now, beginner level tricks. So I know what it's like to feel inadequate. I know what it's like to feel helpless and frustrated. And I know it's very hard and it's easier said than done. But when you walk in the classroom, try to leave all of your bad self-esteem and bad opinions of yourself. Try to leave all of those out the door. Leave them in the waiting area. It's a dark place anyway. And just trust me when I say this. Look at yourself in the mirror more often. I know it sounds weird and kind of cringy, but it will help you concentrate and it will remind you who you're doing this for. So yeah, I guess that is it for today's episode. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you didn't know, we have a new episode every Saturday. I also try to maintain 4 posts a week on my Instagram page that I mentioned earlier. So if you're not following yet, please follow along the Pole Project podcast on Instagram. And we also have a Facebook page. It's the Pole Project. Like, follow, whatever. It would make my day. Also, let me know in which podcast platform you're listening to. I know most of my listeners are from Spotify, but Apple Podcast statistics do not seem to work at all. So if you do exist, Apple users, please let me know of your existence, because currently it does show that I have none of you, and that makes me very sad. Other than that, we're also available on Podbean, and if you crave us on any other listening platforms, then do let me know. That is it for today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I hope to see you next week. Goodbye and happy pole dancing.